Hello you guys, welcome back to my channel for this paycheck breakdown video. In today's video, we are going to be breaking down our most recent paychecks, allocating them for where they need to go in the next 2 weeks. So if you're new here, hi, my name's Alice. I love to chat about money and show you a little bit about my life. So if you're interested in overcoming the scarcity mindset, creating meaning with money, this is definitely the place for you. Don't forget to subscribe. My drink of choice today is a chocolate milk in a super cute ceramic glass that my sister made. Absolutely obsessed. So just a little disclaimer on this video. This is going to be a little bit more of a lean paycheck cycle for us, and we'll get into that. But basically today's payday, so little pause for that. On payday, go through and I input the income on the budget spreadsheet, and while I'm there, I update the budget spreadsheet with all the expenses and everything that's come in and out of our bank account over the last couple weeks. And then I click into the actual budget spreadsheet. I look around, see what needs to be changed, because although I do love setting a monthly budget, the budget you set at the beginning of the month is not always super relevant or applicable by the middle or the end of the month. And it's very important to me that we are flexible with our finances so that we can hit our goals without having unhealthy money habits, to make sure that our budget is a guide to us so that we are never spending more than we have, which anyways, you'll see later. Also want to make sure that we're spending money on the things that we want to spend money on. So that's kind of my philosophy about budgeting. Let's get into this paycheck breakdown, starting with our income. I'm a little grumpy. I don't know if you guys can tell, but we'll get into it. So for our paychecks, we're going to be bringing home $4,682.81. So if you're new here, my husband is an engineer. I'm a copywriter. Both graduated a year ago. He graduated with his master's. I graduated with my undergraduate degree. We do have 100% combined finances as a couple. Obviously, we do have our separate 401ks through our company, but we do treat the money like it is a family 401k as well. We've just found that combined finances has worked super well for us over the last few years that we've been married, but definitely find out what works best for you. It really depends on your goals and your childhood and your experience with money. I'm very interested to see what each of you guys do, whether you are in a relationship right now or what you know you want to do in the future. Okay, going on to rollover. This is like the want sad part. I'm not happy about this. We are rolling over from the previous paychecks a negative balance of $433.62. So as I said before, this paycheck cycle is going to be a little bit leaner just because we are working at not a deficit, because we're still obviously bringing a net positive amount, but we do have to pay a little bit more from what was spent at the beginning of the month. Those paychecks really do go more towards saving and investing. And then we did end up paying some bigger expenses in the beginning of the month as well. I'm a huge believer of saving money first at the beginning of the month, because I've found that when we saved at the end, we kind of sometimes ran out of money and decided to use our savings instead of putting it where it needed to be. So right now we're at a place where we're at the end of the month and we have to make a little bit more harder decisions with our money. As uncomfortable as that might be, it's actually safer, I feel like, to do this than to save your money at the end of the month and then save less and less or not save at all. And then years down the road, you're like, oh, we don't have enough savings for the lifestyle that we live, for the emergencies that happened, the opportunities that we want to seize. Okay, and then we're gonna pull $1,000 out of savings. This is coming from our house and yard sinking fund and our celebration sinking fund. So we did know that we were going to use these this season of the year, but we didn't know exactly when. So I went back and I changed the budget spreadsheet to reflect the fact that we actually do need to pull out celebration money, because although my husband's birthday is next month, I'm gonna start buying stuff and preparing for it this month. Okay, so the total income that we are working with for the next 2 weeks is $5,249.19. I'm in my head about the fact that we have a negative amount rolling over and we have to pay that, and we can't use these paychecks for the next 2 weeks. Like, we spent a lot of money at the beginning of the month and now we have less money at the end, which is fine. I'm fine, I'm not crying. Not yet. Okay, let's move on to bills. Alrighty, so our mortgage is gonna come out and that'll be $2,606. Such a good mortgage. I don't know if you guys are new here, we refinanced recently and it's just been absolutely phenomenal to have a lower mortgage, and also to just like solidify our mortgage payment, because we had a 2-1 buy down, which means it was 2% lower the first year that we had our house, then 1% lower, and then it was 7.5%, and now we've got it down to like 5.5%. Love that we have like a pretty stable mortgage housing cost, and I feel like that's such a game changer for us when it comes to financial peace, because a lot of things really do fluctuate. I didn't realize this. I feel like groceries go up and then sometimes they might go a little bit down, but not always. Like gas prices go crazy, utilities go crazy. So I'm super grateful that we have a very stable housing payment. I don't think I'll ever come to the point where $2,600 is not a lot of money to me. I feel like it is worth it at that point because we were paying, I think, $3,200 a month. Okay, we are going down to life insurance. We're going to be paying $180.47. This is term life insurance and disability insurance. I get some comments thinking that I have whole life insurance because our insurance is so high. It definitely adds up, especially because women have really expensive disability insurance. And I think one of you guys commented that it was because women give birth. And it makes sense if you think about it, like to know if you have 3 or 4 kids, like you're gonna have 3 or 4 major hospitalizations where you're there for 3 days, kind of a big deal. So I totally get why disability insurance is higher for women. And that is why we pay so much. Okay, and then Canva will come out at $15. And then let's see, power, I budgeted $65 for the next 2 weeks, or like our power bill is gonna come out within the next 2 weeks. I'm assuming it's gonna be around $50 to $65. And then we have our Apple subscriptions. The rest of them will come out at the end of this month, and that will be $10 total. I personally, number one, feel really blessed that we're at this point where our bills are manageable for us, but I also feel like even when we had 80 to 90% fixed expenses, our bills were never something that took up a lot of space in my mind, because for me, I feel like bills aren't really something that you can do a ton about. Worrying about bills doesn't really change or move the needle for us. Alrighty, moving on to expenses. Okay, we're gonna budget $180 for our groceries next week, and you guys, we have been killing the game with groceries. I gotta like pat myself on the back, not to toot my own horn, but like basically my husband did most of the grocery shopping, and then as the weather got warmer and we wanted to prep our yard for the summer, he started doing more stuff outside. It made logical sense that I started making more dinners and did the grocery shopping. So I did it, but I didn't want to do it the way he did it, which is like ultra money saving, like optimization amazing, where we got so much food for not that much money. And then I was like, no, I want to do a Walmart pickup order and then buy our produce at a very expensive grocery store. Moral of the story, the food did not last very long, because even though Walmart is not very expensive, they still don't sell things in huge bins. It's not very big food. And so we were just like running out of food really fast. So I'd budget like $400 to $500, and then we'd spend like $600 or $700. And I was like, something's got to change. I'm in the wrong. So then we started going back to Winco. When we do one grocery haul, it lasts like 10, 11, 12 days, which is amazing. And then also we spend way less than if we were doing the hybrid situation. I'm a huge proponent of the Ramit Sethi rich life idea, where you get to turn up the dials of the things you love to spend money and then ruthlessly cut the things that you don't like. And for us, we've decided that our grocery category is not something that we want to spend a ton of money on. If you want to do like a fancy bougie grocery haul all the time and go to Harmon's or go to Trader Joe's or go to Costco, which I'm sorry, but for us, when we go to Costco, we spend more money than if we were to shop at Winco. We still go twice a year to get toilet paper and paper towels because it's an unbeatable price. Groceries are not something we want to spend a ton of money on. We'd rather have that money go towards somewhere else. We're not feeding into the scarcity mindset where we don't want to spend any of our money on anything. We'd rather buy clothes and go golfing than spend like a ton of money on groceries. Okay, for tithing, we're going to be donating $468.28. That is just a donation to our church. For gas, I want to budget $100. We've actually already used most of our gas budget of this month. My husband did get reimbursed from his company because he had to drive to like a further location for it. I have a Chevy Traverse, and when I filled it up last, it was $85. When I think a few months ago, it was like $50 to $55. Because gas prices are so high, we've tried to optimize our gas budget and make it more efficient. So anytime the Honda is available, we try to take that instead of the Traverse. When gas prices were much lower, we were not doing this whole like optimization, like taking different cars to spend less gas. For miscellaneous overflow, I'm going to be budgeting $150. Normally, I don't know exactly what this is going to go towards because it's like miscellaneous unexpected, but I had a small diamond fall out of my ring, you guys. Let me see if you can see it. Oh my gosh, do I have to do this? That is so weird. I feel like a Tumblr girl. Yeah, so I lost a little diamond. It could have been under warranty if I had gotten my ring checked every 6 months, but I do not do that. So that's my bad. Texted them, like the jeweler, and I was like freaking out low key at like a work conference. I was like losing it. I was like, oh my gosh, my ring. Like I couldn't stop touching it. I was like so sad. Turns out it's only $70 for the labor and the diamond. So we're all good. Anyways, that's something that's gonna go towards the other $80. We'll see. Okay, so for the house and yard, we're gonna budget $600 for the next 2 weeks. We have been really getting into getting our flower beds ready, so that's why we're pulling money out of the house and yard sinking fund. And this is gonna go towards trees. Two flower bushes, 2 perennial non-flower-ish, but I can't speak. 2 hostas, whatever those are considered. And then, oh yeah, and then another bleeding heart. So yeah, we're buying a lot. And then we're also gonna do an outdoor kitty litter box because you guys, guess what? They started to go to the bathroom in the garden box. And I'm not saying that the cucumber died because of that, but we just planted it and it just like died. So yeah, we're gonna build an outdoor kitty litter box. Good thing it's not gonna be that expensive. We just have to buy a teeny tiny low to the ground garden box, and then we're gonna put play sand into it. Alrighty, moving on to guilt-free spending, which is always the fun part, except for not right now because foreshadowing, but we're kind of overspending a little bit this month. For eating out, we're gonna budget $60. We have been really good with eating out recently. We've just been like getting breakfast, and breakfast is so much cheaper than getting lunch or dinner. So very happy about that. Okay, for clothing, this is very exciting. Well, rewind, I low-key spent like a lot more. I think I budgeted for the month $150 and I spent $230 maybe. But the good news is I'm gonna budget negative $94 for the next 2 weeks because my husband returned something, so we should get reimbursed for that. And instead of doing the whole store credit and then like buying something more expensive the next time and like indefinitely always buying their clothes, I just returned it to like the actual credit card. And then I have another return. Although I am a grown woman and my sisters are grown up, I still love a good borrowing of clothing. I tried on her like dad shorts and I absolutely loved them. So she had the dad short high rise and I ordered high rise dad shorts. Completely different short. It was thin material, it was huge, it was skinny, like hems or whatever. Like, I don't know. I was just so disappointed. So we're gonna return that. But the good news is then I won't be over my clothing budget and I'll be very proud of myself. For golf, I'm gonna budget $45. My husband has already prepaid for golf for this weekend. So like that came out at the beginning of the month. This is if he wants to play another round of like 9. Yeah, should be pretty fun. The weather is amazing. I love it right now. Okay, we're gonna budget $75 for dates. I'm super excited. I'm the person who's in charge of the date in May. So we are gonna go to the Red Butte Gardens. Should be about $18 a person. And then we should also grab some food. And then the last category in guilt-free spending is celebrations. I'm gonna budget $250 for celebrations. This is going to be very fun. So we are throwing my husband a party. I'm a huge proponent of birthday parties and I love to throw a good 3-part birthday party series, which includes a family party, a friend party, and then like a date. So this is going to go towards all of the food and like any decorations that we need, any desserts, any like platters. Like I want like a wicker basket to hold like the buns and stuff. Okay, has this ever happened to you guys before? And I like genuinely hate this so much, but I don't like going to parties and then getting a Venmo request later for how much everything cost if I didn't know about it beforehand. When I throw parties, it is so incredibly important to me that people can show up and they don't have to pay for anything. This is where I want to turn up the dial on my spending, and this is what I want my rich life to be, is I want to host parties and then have people pay for 0% of it. I mean, obviously we'll have the times where it's like, okay, do you guys want to all grab pizza? Like, let's all go in for pizza, but I don't want to have people come over and then me like low-key Venmo request them for their part of dinner. I get a little bit spicy about that. Okay, and then the last section is saving and investing. As I said before, we save most of our money at the beginning of the month. So at the end is mostly just our automated Roth IRA payments, which for those, it'll be $576. I am so proud of the fact that we have decided to max out our Roth IRA contributions this year and then also put extra into a brokerage account. We are maxing out our Roth IRAs. Like I don't have to be like, oh, that's not cool anymore just because we've done it for 5 months in a row now. So I'm trying to pat myself on the back for that. If you guys are doing something that your past self would be like shook that you're doing, like don't forget to pat yourself on the back. We just get so used to the things that we're doing and then we don't get impressed by ourselves anymore. And I feel that a lot when it comes to goal setting. I try not to set too many goals because a lot of my past goals have become habits. It's not that difficult to do those things anymore, but it doesn't mean that it's not impressive. And that leaves us with a grand total of negative $38.03. We're gonna have to dip into our $1,000 bank account buffer. So we have like 3 safety nets for everything. Number 1 is the miscellaneous unexpected / overflow category of our budget, which is about $350 a month. That can go towards anything we accidentally overspend in. Then there is the $1,000 bank account buffer, where we always have $1,000 in our bank account just in case. Want to avoid overdraft fees. Third and final safety net is our emergency fund, which we just try not to really pull money out of. There's multiple options of how you could feel about this. The first one, and the one that I would probably do, is beat myself up about it and then kind of create an unhealthy relationship with money, and it becomes strained and intense and a background app that's always impacting how I act in real life. And then number 2, which I've seen some people say, is like, oh, the universe will provide, or like, I deserve this. Oh my gosh, you guys, the phrase "I deserve this," it makes me want to literally like start a fire if I knew how to start a fire. More like fate-esque financial strategy, which is interesting, but we're choosing door number 3. We are going to fully accept and come to terms with the fact that we did spend more than we made this month. It might be more than $38. Say it's like $100 or $200 that we spend over the amount that we have this month. We're gonna go into that with open eyes, very acceptance, like the 12 stages of accepting the fact that you spent more money than you have. In June, we're gonna do an audit of our finances, and we're gonna square everything away. We're immediately going to build up our $1,000 buffer, because I do know at the beginning of last year, I think, we could not get our buffer up. Like, it was like $600 to $700, and we just could not get it back up to $1,000. And so we're just gonna go in, we're going to be like, yes, we overspent, what did we learn? And then we're going to make sure that it doesn't hopefully happen in the future again. When I budgeted, I only gave us a $10 buffer in our bank account to overspend past our miscellaneous unexpected fund. Oh, and then we just like didn't know certain things were gonna cost a certain amount. Like our season ticket for football cost like $150 more than we thought it was going to. And then yeah, we've just been a little bit more spendy recently. I find that the more money we make, the harder it is to be like super nitpicky about our finances, which is good. It's good to not have the scarcity mindset and to not freak out about every little thing. But then sometimes it's like, well, we did overspend. So let's take a step back. Let's do a reset. Let's audit. Let's square this away. Let's reconcile the budget, and let's start again fresh with the things that we've learned without beating ourselves up. This is a huge milestone for me, because back in the day, AKA like 1 or 2 years ago, I probably would have freaked out about this. But now I'm like at a place where I'm like, you know, this happens. Like, budgeting is such an imperfect thing because humans are budgeting. Anyways, thank you guys so much for joining me today on this paycheck breakdown video. I hope that it really helped see a normal person's finances, and I will see you guys later. Bye.